Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today, Huntington Beach, north side. Now, both sides look good. We went to the north side out of habit, I think, and possibly a few less people. But it was pretty crowded, even for a small day like it was today. But able to get some good waves. It was probably, I'm saying shoulder to head high. A couple of bigger sets close to the pier. But as you move north, which was the way the current was running, it started to get a little smaller towards the north. So towards the north, we're looking at shoulder to head high. Towards the pier area, overhead about a foot on the sets, but most of them were shoulder to head high. So not very big, but they were strong. The tide was down, and that makes them a little stronger. The tide was down at 6:07, I think. Then so we were there. We got there about 6:30, and we surfed until 8:30. So about 2 hours, and we drifted out towards the condos. That seems to be where the current kind of slows down for some reason. But we got some. I got some good waves. I had a good day surfing. The people we were with, we had Adam and Christian and Craig, and all those guys did okay. But for some reason, I was in the right spot more often, and I was able to get some good rides. I would say most of them were lefts, but I got a really good right that came off the bottom really fast. And I actually turned as I stood up because it was starting to break. So I turned, and the board turned like on a pivot because I was at the top of the wave. And then it dropped, and I was able to get a lot of speed on that drop and control at the same time. Imagine that. And I came off the bottom and did a real nice turn off the top. And then I looked down, and it was still there because a lot of the waves would fizzle after a turn or two, but that one still held up. So I did a couple more turns and was able to get the last one almost by the shore break. I should have waited a little bit longer before I made my cut. I was a little early, and so it wasn't very dramatic. It was just a little bit of a sweeping turn off the kind of the shoulder. And then it all closed out, and then I paddled back out. And for the most part, the paddle was fairly easy, except if you got caught inside when the sets came, which I did a couple of times, and I just kind of paddled slowly and waited for the ocean to settle down because it did. There would be long periods where there'd be no waves. And so I knew that was coming. So I just duck dive and stayed kind of in the middle there and waited for it to slow down. And then as I saw the break, I paddled out, and it's pretty easy. But I had to do quite a few duck dives on that. And it's Friday, which again, the crowd's a little bit bigger on Friday, and I don't know if people don't work or they're getting ready for the weekend. I don't know, but there was a lot of people, and I did go out. I was out all week, and for the most part, got some really good waves. Yesterday, I took a rookie out to Huntington, which is, it was really small. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it because I don't believe in taking rookies out at Huntington. The waves are too strong for beginners. They don't have the paddling power and the technique for getting through the waves. But since it was small, and I took them out. It was a niece, kind of a grand niece, really, and I was able to get her into a couple of waves. So pretty exciting. Most of the time, we've taken her to Newport, where it's very easy to surf, very small, not very threatening. So I wanted her to, she wants to continue to surf. I told her, if you're going to surf, you got to be able to surf, the little bigger areas. And so I took her out to show her what it was like, give her an idea of what Huntington can do. And so it was good. She did really well. So very happy with that. And I was able to get one wave, but for the most part, I was just catching the same wave she was catching, but I would just lay down on the board. I didn't stand up just to be on the wave with her. And so I'd be next to her when she paddled back out and help her navigate the waves coming at her. And again, they were small, so it wasn't that much. But we got hit with a couple of good strong waves that knocked her down, rolled her around a little bit, and she got back up and paddled out. So there you go. Now you can do it. So for the most part, like I say, just caught little waves and rode them on my stomach. I caught one today on my stomach. I got up a little late, and I slipped a little bit and didn't get my feet. And so I landed back on my chest. And so I just rode it on my chest, and it was a beautiful wave. I wish I was standing up. I could have done some more with it. But I was able to ride it on my stomach like a bodyboard and just rode it for quite a while. Made even a couple of cuts, not dramatic, but staying with the wave. So kind of a little bodyboard wave for me. And other than that, pretty good. I had one crash going right and one crash going left, where I just didn't get my feet in right, and as I turned, it just dug in too deep, and then I kind of fell into the wave on the right, and then on the left, I kind of tumbled over the nose. So that wasn't bad. I got a lot of, in fact, I don't even know how many waves I caught, which is unusual for Huntington because it's mostly paddling and less surfing. But today I did a lot of surfing and still a lot of paddling. So either way, you're going to paddle at Huntington. So that's it. So we don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. The crowd thinned a little bit from the U.S. Open crowd, but we're starting to get some of the locals. I see a lot of the same people I normally see out there. So we'll see tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen, but next week's supposed to be small. But we're going to go. I mean, the tide should be in our favor, probably around 7, 8 o'clock, low tide. And then work its way up to 9, 10, which then you got to wonder whether or not you want to go early or just wait and take your chances with the wind and go a little later. And just have to wait and see what the size of the waves are, because the size makes a real big difference. But that's it for the surf report. I was in a summer wetsuit, so water's still quite pleasant. And it wasn't choppy, it wasn't too windy. It was some bumps in it, almost like a rip current. But I didn't notice us going too fast, getting sucked out. But we did get pushed out a little bit here and there, so there was a little bit of a rip here and there. And so water was good. There's no sun, overcast. So there was a couple of people without wetsuits, but I think it's a little too cold for that. Without the sun, if the sun were out, it'd be great without a wetsuit. But without the sun, early in the morning, I'd go with a thin one, or just a top. So just get out there and do some surfing, and I'll see you next time. Till then, check out our sponsor, taskbullet.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks, and nappyclothing.com. Thanks for listening. I'll see you soon.